Hey, what's going on, guys? Joe with OMGRC here. So today we have the Ford Mustang GT4 from Tamiya. It's going to be this is a kit, so we're going to go ahead and break this up into like a 4-part build series. Now, since the kit only comes with the electronic speed controller and the motor, I've already kind of paired it up with a synchro. This is from Kyosho. It's the radio, the servo, and the receiver. So we got that covered on that part of it. You will need a battery as well and a charger if you don't have one, just to kind of let you guys know if you were in the market to purchase one of these. I'll put a link in the description below, so if you guys want to go ahead and purchase one of these, that link will be in there. As always, I put links in our videos for those particular cars that we have showcasing at the time. All right, now as far as colors for this body, I am not 100% sure, but I would like to have maybe like a yellow. I thought about like a candy color, like a red or a green or some kind of orange, bright color, something like that, right? A custom paint job would be phenomenal. That had OMGRC, kind of, it would be like the mascot of OMGRC for sure. That had .com on there, would be cool. Anyway, we're going to be doing a live video on Friday. We usually go live on Fridays anyhow. We've been doing that for almost close to 2 months, or roughly right around in there. So anyway, if you're interested in talking about the colors that what you would like to see, definitely, or you're looking for an RC vehicle, definitely join us. Just talk, man. We're just all about just talking, hanging out on a Friday. Talking RC stuff is all good. Anyway, that's gonna pretty much be that. So let's get into the actual build of this thing right now. All right, just show you the electronics real quick here, just a kind of a close-up of it. So that's that as far as the radio goes. The servo, you guys can see that one, and then we have our synchro as far as our receiver goes. All right, so now let's get into the car. All right, guys, so it's been a long time since I've done this, so just kind of bear with me on this one a little bit. If there's anything that looks like it was an issue, an error, let me know on that part of it. I do have something kind of like a little swab here, just to kind of take a little bit of the grease that it comes with, and I can put that on the bushings and the little places where they tell you to oil your spots. There's going to be a lot of spots that need to have a little bit of grease on it. That's your preference as far as to what you want to use. I'm going to use everything that comes in the bag. Speaking of bag, here's our bag A that we're going to start with. It's going to have all our little bits, our screws and everything like that. That's going to be required for this area and all the way up to, I think, 16 as far as steps. You have your bushings here. Keep in mind too, again, if this is something new, you can match up the sizes on the paper, because that piece of paper is representing the exact same size of the part that they're calling for. Just so you know on that part. Also good, like, okay, C5. Well, this is one of the bags that we need, and it has C, and you just look for number 5, which will have a number 5 right up in the corner, and that's the shaft that we'll need to grab. So, and then you'll need other tools that they'll tell you that call out in the actual manual. So you can use like scissors, you can use your razor blade that's nice and sharp on that part of it. Other ways, that they tell you in the instructions what you'll need. And here are some of the tools that they're requesting or requiring you to at least have. So anyway, just to kind of keep that in mind as well while you're going through this, that will be the tools that you'll need. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and time lapse this, just putting this all together. But if there's any questions, you just leave a comment down below in this particular part series or build series, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible if I can try and help you out. All right, so let's go ahead and time lapse this part of it. All right, so now when it comes to the other little parts like the star shaft, you just have to go into your little plastic bag. It's going to pretty much be everything that's in this little bag here. This is your little star shaft that's in there. And then obviously you're going to need more grease. This is up to you as far as if you want to keep using this grease. I'm going to go ahead, like I said, I'm going to keep using that same grease. I'm going to go ahead and assemble everything that's here. But I just want to kind of show you. You will be using the bushings. These are the metal they call them bearings, but yeah, they're still bushings. But anyway, that will be the other pieces. Again, all your little screws that you need to assemble here, they're calling for 8 of the MA5. They need 8 of those. We can zoom up a little bit, but anyway, on that part, they're all in that, still in that same bag, number A. So anyway, that's that. Figured I'd let you guys know, and we're going to continue on. All right, so on to the next step is getting all your stuff for your differential gears. So I've already laid everything out that we're going to need for this part of it. There's going to be some other little screws. I have them off to the side here, but it's like 8 of those. Some other little screws as far as tapping screws that are going to be in there, more tapping screws. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start with this, just doing the differential part of it. And then also you're going to need your differential cover for it. So I'll go ahead and once I get them all built, then we'll go ahead and put our cover on after that. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put the gear case on. So this is going to be in your B bag, and it'll be labeled B and everything like that, the little cover for it. So go ahead and put that on there. Go ahead and put your 4 screws on there as well. Make sure everything's lubricated, like as they say, as far as pointing out all the little lubricating points. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on, and then we'll continue with just this little last piece here at the bottom. All right, so for the parts down below, I went ahead and went into the B bag, grabbed the 2 here as far as those parts. Also, when it comes to this little plastic piece here from the A bag, so I went ahead and grabbed that. And now as far as like these little tiny balls that are here, so we can kind of, they show it right over here as far as what it is, that little snap. Anyway, it's in this small little package that's here. So it's in another separate package altogether. That's what you need to do, is you need to get them out of this little package here, and then you can put these get snapped into this little piece right here. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then continue on. I feel like sometimes in the instructions they kind of like jump ahead and like, okay, what is this going on? Anyway, this is this piece here is from the A bag. This is the shock tower. That's what it looks like at this point in time in the build. But I'm gonna kind of think that's what that is. Anyway, that's that part that was out of the A. So anyway, that is that. So go ahead, and it tells you what screws that you need to use here. I've just been kind of lining them up, whatever, but they're pretty standard ones. They're still in that A bag, so you just need to grab, 4 of those for this area, and then we need a couple more for mounting down some other little parts that are in here. They kind of have it all kind of like congested into the one right here is what it feels like. So just have to kind of do it. And as far as those little snap rings, what have you, they just snap in there, and then once they're in there, you can just get them straight. So that way you can see the hole, kind of like what they're showing in here, and then that just turns sideways after that. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, get this stuff mounted up. Alright, so lots of stuff to install here from different bags, our differential cover, our bushing slash bearings, what they call it, but they're just brass bearings, or yeah, bushings there. Anyway, get our motor too. We'll need to remove the little cover that's on here so we can mount up our, well, anyway, that's what we'll do. My hands are kind of greasy. Anyway, this will need to go on there too. Just kind of, I think that this kind of keeps down by vibrations and stuff like that. Also, our little motor mount as well. Suspension arms that we need to mount up, and an actual shock tower, I presume, with all this stuff. Anyway, so that's what we're going to need to do. I'm going to go ahead and just grab all your parts that you're going to need. Some of the stuff doesn't kind of like show you. You have to kind of look at the diagrams again and just grab your parts that you're going to need for it. As they kind of show you in some of the diagrams here. Anyway, and you're going to need the fine Phillips screws for it. That's what you're going to use for mounting your motor. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead, get everything installed, so I'll time lapse that. All right, I forgot to show you this other little piece. It's identical to doing the other side anyhow, but another part for your suspension arms. So That's that little piece there, so you guys can see it. So anyway, I'm going to continue on. Alright guys, got everything meshed up. When it comes to the gear, I didn't mount the motor as of yet because I don't want to do any of that. But here's the motor, and then of course, you know, I don't have the grub screw in there right now. But if you take the actual just pinion gear, you can run it around and it's all good. As far as it's meshed up exactly, as long as you follow by this directions, because that's a 22 tooth setup that they're showing you there anyhow. That's why it's marked 22 for your pinion gear. So yeah, everything works perfect on that. I'm going to share that along as far as the build on it anyhow. But if you are new here, definitely consider subscribing. Also check out OMGRC.com for all your hobby goodness. Anyway, this is Joe with OMGRC. I appreciate you guys watching. You guys take care. Later.